So if you want to animate arrows, quite simply, I mean, there's a few methods to do it. You could use the arrow annotations on the annotations tab here. You have arrows, you have different types of arrows. So you can choose whichever you want here. You can choose the thickness and opacity and color. Of course, you can make it, any color you like, and then you point it to where you want it to be, and then you can use a simple behavior or a transition. So depending on what you want to do with it, you can do transitions like using a wipe or something. So if you go to the transitions, you can use wipes, and maybe you can use a gradient wipe on it like this. So that will mean it comes in a faded way. If it's too short, the animation, you can of course make the transition longer, so it's going to fade in sort of like that. Another way to do it would be without transitions. You can use behaviors. So if you go to behaviors and choose maybe one of these ones that fade in from the left or reveal like this, this actually gives you a little bit of animation. So you can see I've applied this one, reveal. If you play it now, the arrow kind of slides in, and you can control the action and as well as the speed and duration, and you can also control what it does during the time it spends on screen, and then it has a different animation when it's going out. It slides the other way if you want to. If not, you can just go to the out and turn it to none, so it doesn't do anything, it just disappears. So you can control these like that. Also, you can have another type of annotations here on the scribble thingy sketch motion ones. They're not overly complex, so you can use this arrow or this one hand drawn, which is not really good for a flow chart. You can use this one, it's a different arrow here. Okay, of course you can, it has its own sort of draw animation which you can't really change, but you can also control the thickness on this and maybe the draw time, make it shorter and longer. Now if you want more complex animations with arrows, you want something special, then I suppose you can import some arrows from external sources like PNG files, draw them in here and do transitions with them. One thing I like to do if I really need an animation I can really control is to draw an arrow. Let's suppose I bring this arrow in here, you double click on it and remove the text on it. So there you go, you have just one arrow. You can change the color of course on it like this, and then you can apply different transitions to it. Or if I really want to slide it in a different way, I can actually use the new annotation with the media mat. So you can go to shape, let's go find a shape here and use this rectangular thing. I'm going to cover the whole arrow just to show you how you can create your own revealed. So this one covers the arrow. So now what I can do is I can animate this coming in. So let's say, but this might be too complicated depending on might be overkill depending on how many arrows you have. So look, this one is actually now covering or revealing, you can turn it around. I actually should have gone here now, and you can go and bring it into the arrow like so. So then you can reveal the arrow by using the visual effect media mat on this revealing thingy here. So it has alpha, so then it slides in and your arrow appears. If you like to do it from the other side, of course you can reverse the animation. So leave it here, and then this end you move it all the way to the right side like so. So then when it comes in, it reveals the arrow. You select all of this, you group it like that, and then you have a moving object, a revealing arrow, which you can use in your project. Just make different copies of it all over the place at different time intervals, and they will reveal each other like so. So just bring them in when you need. I hope this helps. Thank you.